Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to King Pasta Ducks and Stuff. I am your host, Parker. Joining me, we have Evan, Ian, and Tyler. Hi!
Hello.
I'm
Yeah.
not here.
No, Ian can't join us today. He's sick. He caught Ebola.
Too busy playing their part.
Oh yeah. We thank you. we thank you again for joining us. It's good to have y'all here, all two of you. But you know what? You got us there somewhere,
Two is
right?
better than zero.
Two is, let's not double zero because zero can't be multiplied. We got yeah. How y'all doing today?
Pretty good.
Nah,
Oh, us.
yeah,
Alive. Crazy good.
that's perfect. How
I
was
slept like 16 hours today.
why?
Cause I kept waiting for Evan, and
Um,
then he ended up waking up at like 4 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon. So
perfect.
Yeah, I texted him. I was like, "Hey, I'm up now, so whenever you're ready." But I guess he was just busy.
Never picked
So
up.
that's cool.
very
got some sleep.
professional.
Very professional. How's Ian's day? How's Ian's
Hey,
work?
Parker. Somebody just said that we're all pretty quiet except for you.
Oh,
That
just
was
me.
John.
I can. Okay, I can turn us up a notch.
Well, you didn't have to tell him that.
There you go. Is that better? We'll find out in a couple minutes.
Not sure.
We'll have to, everyone just murmur.
Nah, you're fine. Let's just keep talking, and if it's not loud enough,
Yeah.
I'll turn you up more.
Tell us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
fine.
for that, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Not John. So we got a show.
Oh yeah, that probably is John.
No,
Is
one-
his name Barry Allen?
No, it's
Very
very professional.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, welcome to the show, and we're gonna have a good
Welcome,
time.
John.
Welcome, John, and one other to the show that we're gonna talk about video games, and it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have a good time, and we're not gonna get pissed off at Battle Tetris.
That's a lie.
Once again, Battle Tetris coming in.
No, it's again. Okay,
So,
if
Still salty about it.
Grandmaster Host Daddy Parker, when is what's our first topic?
our
for
first
today?
topic. Ooh, we got a segment coming on. We're gonna try something new. I know, right? The hype is necessary, dude. We got a good thing. We're gonna be trying a little thing called Genre of the Week. We're gonna pick a genre of video game, and we're gonna discuss what it's good for, what it's bad for, if we like it, if we don't like it, that kind of thing. And this week's topic, we got RPG. RPGs, everyone's favorite games, right? Everyone?
I don't know about everybody's,
Every,
but it's definitely quite a popular topic.
according to
Why don't you hit
Evan,
us with that definition?
every single game is an RPG.
That is so inaccurate.
Well, what is an RPG? An RPG is a role-playing game. You're playing the role of a character, right? That has a specific,
Yes.
goal. Every single game, you're playing a character with a
Well,
goal.
Are you trying to say that you're playing as the Tetris?
Yeah, any game with like
A
a
character.
character that has a title.
It's a role-playing game.
Yeah. So
I
that's
feel
a lot of
another
games.
thing about role playing though is that it's generally, if it doesn't have any cutscenes at all, it's kind of not for the most part.
Usually story driven.
Yeah, they have to be. Most of them are story driven. For instance, the campaign of Black Ops, that is an RPG technically, but the actual online, it's not RPG.
No?
Yeah.
You don't think that's
Well,
RPG?
some games can be more than one thing. Just because
keep-
something's a shooter doesn't mean it's not an RPG.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like the online version.
Oh yeah, it's almost like a separate game at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Black Ops, but like, I think that you have to separate the games in categories of this is a game that is a shooter with a subcategory RPG.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you're
it's
not.
more of a
If someone
separate-
asks you what kind of a game is it, you're not going to say it's a shooter RPG. You're just going to say it's a shooter, because the
Yeah.
main.
Yeah,
RPG,
some things
RPG is kind
override.
of implied to almost all games, so it's like that's not what it's mainly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but when you're saying RPG, generally you mean story-based, character development, that kind of thing.
Yeet.
Which I don't know. RPGs are weird for me because I haven't found very many good ones. Like Undertale is an
Why don't
RPG,
you
right?
hit us with some?
Undertale's like the first one that comes to mind that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And me and Evan were arguing.
Pokemon.
Me and Evan were arguing whether or not Skyrim's an RPG.
No, I
would
was.
imagine
I had a
it
different
is.
definition. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I would definitely say
Yeah.
that it is.
Then
I
that-
don't agree with myself anymore.
Pokemon. Yeah, it's an RPG, and it's good.
What else would it be?
I don't know.
I mean, Pokemon's kind of a different type of RPG,
Yeah,
though, compared
It's a
to some,
Pokemon game.
Turn-based is kind of like a subcategory.
A turn-based RPG, yeah.
But
So,
it is highly RPG heavy.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
But like, it's kind of like a different RPG compared to the typical ones.
I mean, they're their own genre.
Well, yeah,
Have they come far enough to this point where we can just call Pokemon a genre?
pretty much.
No.
No?
I would say so.
I'd say
I
so.
think it fits into turn-based.
Yeah, but like the whole.
There's other games like Pokemon.
Yeah, well, you
What's the
can't
last
you
one?
can't call Fire Emblem a Pokemon game. So I guess you would have to
It's a
call that
different game.
turn-based.
But that's also an RPG.
What is every turn-based? No, it's not all turn-based games are
Pretty-
RPGs.
But it's a
Most-
story-based game.
Yeah, most
But all
games are
ga-
RPG.
I guess. By the way, before we get too far ahead of
it's just
ourselves,
it's generally not looked at as RPG.
Yeah.
how's the volume? I don't know if it's bad or not.
I mean-
Continue though. It's horrible.
Nobody says
Perfect.
anything. I think.
Perfect.
To assume.
Perfect. Continue.
Someone said perfect?
I said perfect
Awesome.
because I am.
I
Who's
personally really like RPGs. Just seeing like the storyline progress. Obviously, there's bad RPGs, but I like seeing the progression of stories and stuff like that. I know Evan pretty much despises that. But
Well, he loves Pokemon though.
Evan, you cannot say that you enjoy story in games.
Oh, well, I don't know. See, my next, can I trail?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you halfway. Like, I like RPGs for the gameplay, but not for the stories. Like, I don't like Final Fantasy. Gameplay is really boring, and there's so many cutscenes. It's not for me. But I do like all sorts of RPGs. I like Pokemon, Fire Emblem.
You like turn-based RPGs?
I love turn-based RPGs.
The best games.
What else is an RPG?
Strategy
Is
turn-based.
Breath of the Wild an RPG?
You're playing.
Yeah.
Sure, I love that. I don't know, because they all have like fun gameplay, and they're like, I like the mechanics of it and the combat, but it's like when they're kind of minimal story though. A lot of them, they're not all just like it's a movie, you know. Would Life is Strange be an RPG?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like that
Like,
game's
practically entirely RPG.
See, that game
Yeah.
I like though, even though that's heavy story, because it's all story.
Yeah, the main
gameplay-
goal of it
it
is
wasn't
the
around
story.
the gameplay,
Yeah.
but like something. I'm gonna go back to Final Fantasy. That like it was the story was where it was based around, but also the gameplay was a lot of it, and the gameplay was just boring. Life is Strange is almost just like a movie.
It's hard to have a good game that doesn't have good mechanics, even if it's
Yeah.
story driven.
But like Life is
It's a
Strange
thing.
was almost like not a game.
It was
'cause you
practically
didn't
a
play
movie
most
that
of
the
you could
time,
affect.
yeah.
Most of the time,
So
it's just a
it
quick
was kinda
time event.
different. It was
There's
a
just a
weird
quick
exception.
times. There's God of
Yeah,
War without actual combat.
I'm generally fond of RPGs. Just
There's
I-
just so
having
few
a
of them.
skippable story.
So few of them that I actually like. Like people talk about how Earthbound was great. It's like I never played
You
Earthbound.
didn't like Earthbound?
I haven't played Earthbound. No, it didn't interest me.
Oh,
No?
No, it just
surprised.
it didn't like the.
It's wacky and stuff.
It
and
looks
it's
like my
Earthbound,
kind of game, but
mm,
it seems like it'd take too long.
Earthbound.
Earthbound is the one with Ness
It
and
is.
Lucas.
It is pretty long.
It's long though.
Well, there's Earthbound, and then there's Mother.
It's the very pixelated like
Yeah.
version of Ness and
Yeah.
Lucas
It's just
stuff.
not
Well, it's
never
the only
interested me.
version of the-
Never.
it's the
The one
only
with
They're in
the
Smash
mirror.
Bros.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. But what makes a good RPG?
Well,
That depends. Like with the different genres, it changes. For instance, in terms of one like Life is Strange, it making you connect and really care about the main characters is quite
Oh, yeah.
important.
I think the decisions are really important.
Hmm
yeah, there has to be decision making. Not being linear is kind of important.
For something like Fallout, it's having the right balance of not being too grindy, but also like having a lot of action in it, whether it be story or not. It depends.
Yeah.
And then Pokemon's kind of hard to say. Pokemon, like, it just basically don't do what they did in Sun and Moon.
Where you make the whole thing just a
over the
movie.
cutscenes,
Don't
'cause
have
it's-
45 minutes of
yeah.
cutscenes with like
Twice.
one 30-second break in between each one.
Yeah,
The
because that
Pokemon-
you
one's
have to
kind of
catch the
based around
legendary.
Yeah.
No,
gameplay.
just everywhere. The
But
whole thing.
You don't really play
The,
Pokemon
like,
for the
first
story.
island is just.
When you don't go into Pokemon thinking, "Oh, I'm so excited to go through the story of this kid who
Yeah.
catches Pokemon," you're like, "I can't wait to catch Pokemon."
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't care about
I
the
find
kid.
it interesting. Like the story's kind of cool the first time, sometimes,
Eh,
but like
I know what my favorite
it's
story
nothing
was.
like crazy.
What's that, Ian?
Of
The one with
Pokemon.
none.
I know
What is that?
Pokemon Red and
Oh,
Blue.
Love
really?
that story, dude.
Because it's
The
like
fa-
just
the
fast
fa-
and you.
The fact that there is
Oh.
no story makes Pokemon.
Okay. There's only one game from the Pokemon
Okay,
series
what
that I
window is
liked.
it?
Ian is in the bottom. So for you, it's the bottom left. This way. There you go. Yeah, Ian, he's up there.
This way?
Okay, shut up. The only Pokemon game that I think that had a
Ooh.
you are completely off. Had a bad, like a good
Oh, the
story.
other one then?
Yeah, I'm telling Ian.
Ian.
You punch this way. Evan punch this way.
Ian, go up left.
There you go.
No,
Perfect. You're done. No, he's perfect. Okay. Anyways, Pokemon Ranger. Now that was a good game with a story. That was a fun game. Anyways, RPGs.
I
I
don't
felt
think
like
that's
the
an RPG
gameplay
though.
was awful in it though.
Really? I
Oh,
loved
hate
it.
Pokemon
I loved
Ranger.
Pokemon
Some of them
Ranger.
were so bad. Like catching the Steelix was fucking
That
impossible.
was a
Oh, not
blast,
the
dude.
Steelix.
That was so fun.
I think as an 8-year-old child, I think I spent a total of like a couple months trying
Are
to get
you
that.
serious?
And one day I got it out of just pure luck.
I got it on my first try. It wasn't that bad.
It
Maybe
was
I got
awful.
lucky or something. Pokemon Ranger was
It was
good. Though.
absolutely awful.
Anyways, RPGs, they suck sometimes, but when they're good, they're great. Okay, Evan,
Yeah.
why don't you tell me about Nintendo Labo?
Oh wow, that's it?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
RPGs, we're done with that. What
So
about
our general consensus of RPGs was
Eh.
like they hit
They're-
miss.
They all suck.
Yeah, they all suck.
Yeah,
No
I
good
mean, we
RPGs.
all seem pretty fond of them, just none are always perfect.
Right.
I
Value
like
different
that
things.
the fact that you can choose with RPGs, but I don't like the exploration.
Too much choice for me.
I said I was a
Depends on the
a
game.
story kind of person.
I'm a lot about exploration. I like doing all the shit.
I'm a story driven person.
I could care less about
Some RPGs aren't very story driven.
unless the story is 100. Like they have to think it through perfectly, and that is the main purpose of the game. Unlike Pokemon, I could care less about the story. Like I'll mash A. I don't give a shit about the story, honestly. I don't care about the story about
Honestly,
Pokemon. I don't care about the
Just
story.
smashes through Undertale.
I don't care about the story in Skyrim. But see, Skyrim, we're not Skyrim. Undertale, the story was kind of the
It
whole point.
matters. Yeah.
Like,
that's
you go through the
appeal.
first
The game's
time.
awful without the story.
Sometimes.
Like, there is no game without the story in
guess.
Undertale.
I mean, there's the music.
I mean, the music's great though. We gotta get the license for that. I could care less. But
Sponsored content.
yeah, lots of content. Anyways,
Undertale
Yeah.
sponsor us.
RPGs,
Sponsor us.
they're fun when they got a good story. But
Sorry,
anyways.
I reversed.
Yeah, I know you reverse. You're the one over here
Sorry.
that's like, Parker,
Someone
you gotta
attacked
work.
the lava.
Parker, you gotta work on you doing your transitions. Okay, Evan, I'll do that. Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to Labo. Oh, but back to RPGs, guys. Come on.
All right.
Gosh, man. Okay. Anyway,
Transition us again.
no, okay, you're just gonna revert me. Okay, Pokemon Labo, the
What
cardboard
about
simulator.
Pokemon Labo?
Fuck you, Ian. I don't care about RPGs. We're talking about
All
Pokemon.
right, so I'm gonna explain it.
Nintendo
like you
Labo.
So-
Yeah.
So what Nintendo Labo is, Nintendo has decided to they have these sheets of cardboard that you're supposed to fold into different things and like different shapes. There's one that's like a fishing rod, there's one that's like a steering wheel. Kind of like if the Wii wheel from the Nintendo Wii was like made of cardboard and you made it yourself. And they're selling them, and I guess there's dedicated not games, but like software you get that work with these. And the idea is kind of neat, but it's like $70 for like the whole pack of all the cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I feel like it's a money grab.
I think
basically you put the Joy-Con in the cardboard
Yeah.
and it'll do whatever function.
I,
for the
I
game.
feel like they're trying to
I feel
see
like that's
what
the
they can
shit.
get away with. They'll-
I
Could
kind
be.
of think they were trying to go with one, it's a money grab, but like this is Nintendo,
Mhm.
so I kind of feel like they're also trying to experiment with a revolutionary concept.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this is game changing.
Well, they want to like modernize.
This changes
toys.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
We can, like, for instance, they had the motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to come up with another thing like that.
And I think it can work. From what I can tell, it is cardboard and rubber bands.
I have no idea. I looked at it, and I read it, and I still don't really understand.
I can't see it lasting very long, to be honest.
Yeah, that's my other thing. How durable is this?
It can't
like
be because it's cardboard.
Going at this. They're gonna break it.
I think it's something that you don't actually mess with once you make it.
But then what's the point of making it? You can just
no,
the whole point is you do it for the game.
No, what I mean is like you make like your fishing rod or whatever, and you keep it as a fishing rod. You don't ever undo the fishing rod.
Well, of course not. But like you're doing this all day, you're gonna break it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's much of an issue unless you're like smacking it
piano.
on like, a table.
The piano, you just go like this all day. Almost there, boys, and then
I had to get my fish.
I'm reeling in my fish.
Yeah, like if you've ever been around a toddler, you know they're gonna like smack people with their fishing rod, and they're gonna reel it everywhere.
Well, they spend $70 on cardboard.
Put a T for team.
A Wii remote is a lot harder than cardboard.
Yeah, it's made of plastic.
Those things are made of like Nintendium, you know.
Yeah, technically the cardboard's also made of Nintendium.
Yeah, cardboard.
So I don't know. There has to be some durable cardboard.
It's probably not cardboard. It's likely plastic of some sort.
I think it's cardboard.
They did confirm it's cardboard.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it.
Cardboard.
It's cardboard. I don't.
But yeah,
it's scary.
I don't know.
I find that very
It's kind of a neat concept. I don't know. That's definitely for like little kids though. I don't know what the.
It's either for little kids or for older people for the novelty. That's the only thinking I can come up with.
I don't know. The games didn't look very fun either. I mean, they only showed a few clips, but they looked very simplistic.
But since when?
Go back to the fishing rod again.
Yeah,
it just looked like a little like fishing game. It wasn't like a full on thing. So I want to know what games they put to these.
I hope
maybe something like a little more extensive.
I don't think they will though.
Like if in Breath of the Wild I had like a sword, that could be kind of cool.
I think I saw like
this is gonna turn into Wii Tennis.
In like the Labo trailer.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of cool.
Oh, Doom?
I think so.
Really?
Oh, that could be cool.
That would be
like
cool.
A Joy-Con and then like Joy-Con. So
a Joy-Con?
Joy-Con shotgun?
Yeah, like a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's sort of neat.
That would be cool.
Alright, see, that's
I think I saw that.
Do that for every game and you got me.
Shotgun.
Make every game.
What are they going to do for Pikmin?
Give every game a shotgun.
Give me a whistle? Cardboard whistle?
That'd be cool. Actually, I'd love that.
No,
that'd be awesome. No, that would work because he's blowing to the whistle, and there's a little mic on the Joy-Con, probably.
You would ruin the card.
Wait, this Labo shit looks really cool.
It looks retarded to me, personally.
What? Tyler switched once he actually looked.
Yeah, once he actually knew what we were talking about.
He's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa, hold on, this shit's awesome, man.
I don't think
I don't think it's like.
I'm definitely not gonna
it's
get
not
it.
something that I'd buy, but like.
Yeah, but is it $60
We're
good?
definitely not in the demographic for that.
No.
Yeah, like I as a kid, I would absolutely love some of this shit. I think it's way too expensive, and it has to be durable. But like, that's cool as shit.
It's pretty
cool.
cool.
To see.
I think what they should do is actually make
the idea is
make me
there.
want to get it.
Make you want to get it?
Yeah, like make a game that Labo works with that I would want.
Yeah. Sell the game, get the Labo second.
It's not like a Wii Play sort of thing.
That would turn into an amiibo then. Except a cardboard amiibo.
People would have wanted amiibo whether they were working or not.
Yeah.
People like figures.
Well, it's the same with the cardboard. Right? Like, you're doing it for the cardboard
But that's
figure.
not Mario. Mario's like iconic. It's just a fishing rod.
Well, I think they have like their logo put on the cardboard. I don't know.
I don't know.
I kind of think it's cool. I don't think it's necessarily for like our demographic.
For sure.
But as an 8-year-old, I would have fucking loved this.
Really?
Everything about this would have been absolutely
more.
I'd be more into the amiibos than I would be to this.
I have like
still
no
into
interest in
amiibos.
amiibos.
I have amiibo.
I got my man Mario over here.
He's got it on his desk.
I got Mario. I got Marth over here. I got my man Villager.
I have my adapter for my 3DS.
Oh, let me tell you, so do I. Is that
Ooh,
Bard?
You're Bard.
I've got
I have
Beetlejuice.
a picture that
A
you guys
Beetlejuice.
should look at, but after
Oh,
the
Yeah, I'll check
stream.
it out. Dude, I got Mojo Jojo. Hold up. Look at that.
How
I
many
got
figures do you have on your desk?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
A whole bunch.
I've got Ganondorf as well. Oh, nope, 9.
I have. Mike Mouse.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I want Labo to be good. I really do.
I hope for their success.
Hey
But
Parker,
yeah,
do you have you can't see the chat, right?
I cannot.
In the stream. Okay, good.
why?
Just
Yeah, putting
Go
something
on.
in there. Well,
You
no.
can-
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyways, anything else on Labo? Because I don't
No,
know.
I think I wanna wait to see what happens when they release more about it. My hopes are not high, but they might surprise me.
My hopes are.
I really hope for it to be good. I just
Oh, for sure.
it's not great right now.
I don't want anybody to like fail.
I think they just need to release game titles that would go with it. That would be like fun.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
And then like I would think about it, but just buying cardboard for my Switch that I don't know what I'm gonna do with doesn't seem like a good idea.
Also, want to point out it's coming out on 420.
Oh yeah. That's for those of you who don't know, the Labo is coming out for $69.99 on April 20th, which is 4/20.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I don't know.
Are they coming out with a blunt cardboard?
I don't know.
That
like,
would be. How could they not
I had to
plan
have been
that?
on purpose,
Right.
but why? Like, what was
Is
somebody
weed
just trying to
legal?
slide by with this?
I think
What
they
was the
knew.
point of that?
They knew what they were doing.
I don't know.
That doesn't accidentally happen.
Nah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they
You
just
can't do
mean
that on
that
accident.
shit.
Like they would notice, like, oh shit, this is 420.
Was that like to draw attention to
And
it?
then Nintendo
No, I
delays
think
it.
that's just kind of a joke, just as fun.
But like,
Nintendo should delay it too.
I was about to say, if they had a problem with it, they'd delay it till the 21st and raise it by 1 penny.
Delay it to May the 4th.
May the 5th.
Never mind.
All right. Anyways, Labos, you can get it on 420 for $69.99. We're just gonna have to see. We don't really know how it's gonna be.
We'll probably come back and talk about
Yeah,
it.
it depends. One of us buys it inevitably.
A couple months.
No, I don't actually think any of us are gonna buy it.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
just
buy
saying we
it.
might talk more about it.
Yeah, when people get reviews out, but until then, it's on our radar. But it's
If
not.
they came out with like a cool game for it, I might. But
It would have to be
chances of
a
me
good
wanting
game.
to get any of the games that they currently have.
It would have to be a really good game.
If it was just good, I would get it just for like interest. But then again, I guess it is $70.
I was about to say,
damn game.
Are you paying?
70s for the big pack?
Yeah.
They probably sell them individually.
Yeah, Labo
Or will at least.
And what's with the name Labo?
I don't know. That might be an acronym.
I don't think it was because it wasn't all in cat. Oh wait,
They
no,
do just come up with weird names. Like what does amiibo mean?
It's probably like a Japanese word for like.
Well,
figure.
it has the word "me" in it.
Amiibo.
Well, they started off with like me's.
True.
No, the me amiibo weren't made until they were like the 4th wave.
No, he's talking about the Mii's in general. They were on the Wii.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they wanted
Mii's
to
are
relate it with the me's.
maybe yeah. I don't know.
So, long story short, Nintendo's making money off of cardboard at the end.
I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, they've been doing that for years.
I would say it's most likely
got those
better
Pokemon
than
cards.
cardboard quality, though.
I hope.
Yeah, I'm sure it can't just be normal cardboard.
If it is, I'll be really
It's
worried.
meant to look like cardboard for sure, because that's like the whole gimmick.
Yeah,
but
it has to be some like special kind.
Yeah, there's probably like a seal on the outside so that it doesn't get wet and shit.
I doubt that. I doubt that.
I'll have to see.
I don't.
I hope.
For $70, I'm pretty certain.
It's got to be pretty good for $70.
Alright, Parkster.
Yeah, Labo. It's whatever. I don't know. We'll see.
Next, I have high hopes.
I hope, but I don't.
I have a very good feeling that they won't pull it off, but
it's Nintendo. They're always missing. Anyways, moving on. Who here owns a Windows? Hey, so you know how this is gonna go. We all have Windows.
We all know this is gonna go.
And then Mac.
Hey, say
I have a
the-
window right there.
Windows.
Wait,
Windows
no.
versus
No,
Mac.
Parker, ask us how many of us own a Mac.
How many of us own a Mac? Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
thought.
Okay.
0. So the question is, why is Mac so much worse than a Windows for gaming?
No, you can't phrase it like that.
Okay, what's better,
Say
Windows
why-
or Mac for gaming? I just
When I put the question out in our topic thing, I meant like, why do you think
Why did they overturn them?
Windows just excelled in gaming,
and Mac still's just
and then Mac
pissing
is
in its
just
own pants.
Can I go first?
Yeah, okay. Everyone take a nap. We'll be here for about
Prepare
half
for
hour.
the super biased opinion of Evan.
We're all a biased opinion. Why do I have the most
No,
bias?
no.
This is way
good.
more biased.
Okay.
Max awful.
Shut up. So so Apple has the brand name. They have Macintosh computers, and they were around first. But basically, once Windows came in and they started competing with them, they wanted to. What they did was, instead of improving their hardware and such for their computers, they made their stuff look more appealing. But like a Macintosh computer usually looks better than a Windows. Not only the computer itself, but like the desktop and the windows. A lot of time, like when you open a tab, it's like, oh, that looks nice, and they focus on that a lot because it sells, because they have the brand name. It's like, oh, this looks nicer, it must be better.
Yeah.
And people who don't know a lot about computers or anything,
Old people.
well, they also have a lot of product placement.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In movies and stuff, you usually see them with an iPhone, or they have a Mac in like an office a lot of times.
Yep.
When people a lot of time won't actually be using them, and that's where they focus. A Mac isn't like unusable, but for things that require a better computer, you want a Windows, because it'll run it a lot smoother for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, Windows focused a lot more on
Functionality.
Function over
hardware,
fashion.
hardware and
Well,
functionality.
Their
I
function
guess
over-
we can't say hardware because Windows don't make hardware.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
They
Well, like-
focus on
Software.
their
Yeah.
software and then
software.
allowing it to like expand to like any
Yeah.
computer.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't
I
really
mean,
matter how it looks.
For instance, like my Windows computer,
Mhm.
it's not like most Windows computers. They don't look special. All
They look bland.
yeah, they're just
and,
a
don't
box.
and the other thing about it is, like,
The laptops look okay.
for a Mac,
but
it's always going to be a Mac. For Windows, I have a Lenovo.
Yeah,
I don't know
could
what
have
you guys.
Lenovo, XP,
I have a
Acer.
completely custom made.
Exactly.
computer.
So for
Mix.
I still have
Windows, Windows is much more open about their
Yeah,
product,
and it
whereas
doesn't have the same brand name.
whereas Mac,
function.
it's like, this is a Mac. It looks like
Yeah,
this. It works
Everyone
like
knows
this.
it's a Mac.
You
yeah,
can't
another
stray.
part kind of like that is that
They have their logo on it.
Yeah.
Macs you can't really mess with them.
No.
Like if I wanted a better hard drive,
Oh, a
You
bigger
better
one.
get a better Mac.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah, you
can't.
better.
Yeah.
You'd pay $1,000 more for a better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have to buy a new computer. You wouldn't be able to like, oh, well, I'll just take it apart really
mean,
quickly and put
you
it in.
can.
Oh, you can't
It's
take
a
apart a
lot
Mac.
harder.
It is, but
You can, but you can't really.
It's like taking a laptop apart.
'Cause it's
The
like
whole
this
thing's
thin.
not going back together.
and then trying to get iOS or whatever
Yeah.
back onto the Mac would just be impossible.
It just like you pretty much get the computer you get, and then you can't really fix it. You have to bring it back to the store, and they fix it for you for $1,000
Mhm.
to like give you a new hard drive, which should be a couple $100 max. Something that you could easily do on yourself on a Windows.
I guess. I don't know. I've never liked Windows. I've never owned a Windows, or not a Windows. I've never owned a Mac.
You never
I
liked
hate
Windows?
I've never liked Windows. Windows is awful. Not like I'm using one right now. That sucks. No, I've never owned a Mac.
I really enjoy their phone, but that's just because it's extremely convenient. Recently, I have been kind of getting pissed off at it
Really?
though, because like, yeah, once the new phone comes out, they actually kill the phone.
Really?
Like,
You want to tell them about the updates?
Yeah, tell me about the
yeah,
update.
so when a new iPhone comes out, like less than a week later, out of nowhere, there's an update. Like, hey, get this update on your phone. It's a new update. Nothing. It doesn't say anything crazy about it. And magically, magically after that update, all sorts of shit starts going wrong with your phone. When I updated my iPhone, it started dying like 10%, 20%, shit like that, where it never had problems like that until I updated.
I remember
Good, Ian.
that like as soon as like iOS 7 came out, like a lot of people had like iOS 4s, and I just remember everybody like complaining, I have no battery life whatsoever.
Actually, I learned something about that. So when you get the update, the computer, or not the computer, the phone has to decide: do I want to put all this energy into making it so the battery doesn't die, but lower down the CPU, or make the CPU run fine but kill the battery faster? And so if you go for the latter, your battery's going to die sooner, but you're going to keep your CPU.
Yeah, and the problem is that they purposely set it so that your phone just starts dying earlier.
Yeah, that way you think, I need a new phone.
They make your phone as undesirable as possible so you keep the new one.
Yep, and get the
And
upgrade.
you might think, oh, just don't get the update, but after a certain amount of time, it eventually makes you.
Yeah, your phone, like,
it'll do it automatically.
You can't update your apps, you can't. It just becomes bad.
But doesn't Windows just update out of nowhere?
Well, yeah, but Windows doesn't.
It doesn't destroy your phone.
Yeah, but like you're in the middle of a league match and then Ian gets kicked out, and it's like, well, I love Windows.
I mean, to a point, I can understand that on like computers.
But they warn you too. They warn you like 6 times, like, "Hey, do it now."
Or we're gonna do it whenever we want.
Just pushing it off, like, hey.
Because like you don't need it.
It's because he ignores it.
I would say that's usually the person's fault.
Yeah. Well, because like you don't need it.
They give you like a week, a couple days, a day, and then like 4 times within a few hours.
It's like, hey, update your damn computer.
Like, you should be aware. You're being oblivious.
You shouldn't have to.
The one thing about,
and it's also not like once a week. It's like once every few months. Like, that's reasonable.
But
the
I don't want to
spend about Windows that can really piss me off though is it can kill your computer, but not on purpose. It doesn't ever do anything on purpose. I got the Windows 10, one of the Windows 10 updates, and it literally fried my hard drive.
What happened?
I don't fucking know. But apparently when I brought it into the computer hardware store, they're like, yeah, this has happened to like 6 or 7 people who made custom computers. It just completely murdered their hard drive.
Wow.
Apparently they fixed it like a day later, but that was the first time I ever updated the first day, and it's the last time I'm ever gonna update it the first day.
Yeah.
I put it off at least a week before I update it because I don't want to have to pay another $100
to get your thing fixed, right?
Yeah, to fix my computer.
Crazy.
That was so much unnecessary.
Not my recommendation. They seem? What do you think? Are Windows or Mac more stable when it comes to their actual structure, like the base? So like, because when I had a laptop back in the day, I don't remember what kind of a laptop it was, but it seemed like the screen shattered within the first week that I got it. For some reason.
Of your iPhone?
No, my laptop. Like, I'm sitting on there, got my laptop, I close it. I don't slam it, but I close it. I go and I come back to it like later that day, and I open it and the screen shattered. It's like,
what?
No one was home. I was home. I went downstairs, got something to eat, came back up, and it shattered. It's like,
it's jacked up.
The fuck?
I've never had
even
that
heard
happen.
That was retarded. It was
really,
retarded.
like, down my monitors.
I feel.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel most parts laptops can be pretty janky. Like they. I mean, look at them really quickly. Just if you have a laptop, just take a look at it.
Look at this bad boy.
What about that looks sturdy and strong?
About nothing. I mean, it's big. It's huge. Look how big that is.
Look at those, Parker. Show off that juicy hinge.
Which one? This one?
Right there. Yeah. Look how strong that looks.
Looks very stable.
That nothing
Nothing about that says
straw.
stable. That's all I did in shatters.
Huh.
Put it
I've
back up,
never
make
heard
it
of
sound
that
shattered.
happening before, but like the hinges breaking
Ah.
and the cords breaking.
That happened with my
because
DS.
like it gets bent.
That happened with my
Is
DS.
just
Insane.
yeah, that's happening in my DS right now.
Oh my gosh.
Hinges
They need to
breaking.
make hinges better. But
I actually have no problem.
is it true that Macs
What?
get viruses less?
They say that. They say
well,
that. I don't know how
the
true
way
that is.
The way it is that viruses are different for Macs and Windows, and
people
nobody
wanna
bothers
program
making
them.
viruses for Macs. Like that is a thing. There are viruses,
Right.
but there's so few because nobody uses Mac.
Nobody. Right.
Yeah. The
Ah.
people who use Mac aren't the people who would like buy games and shit.
Yeah.
More people use PCs.
Yeah.
So if you're using a PC and you want to like get more of a general like people you want to hack,
You want a bigger.
you'll go
audience.
for Windows over Mac.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think overall, like a Mac or even an iPhone, they're not unusable. It's just like
They're worse.
why you pay more for a worse product.
Right.
Worse being like function as well.
I feel the phones are kind of one of the like iffy things. Like they're
not as
about
bad.
equal, but for computer wise, I definitely agree.
Like
Yeah, like but they're not like
if you go
know,
out, let's say you go
sometimes
out
it's a bit exaggerated.
and you buy a really ugly hat, but it's raining, it's going to protect you really well. Whereas if you go and buy a really fancy hat for a lot of money, and it looks great, but it
Does
ain't
it
going
have
to protect
holes in
you.
it?
Yes, no, it looks beautiful, but it costs like
Okay.
$300, let's say,
It's
where
just
the other
like
hat,
thin or something.
and the rain just gets all over you.
Yeah,
Like, you can look
Mac is
good.
like a nice hat.
But
Yeah.
if you have a
It's like a
Windows,
nice thin hat.
you got a nice cowboy hat, protect you from the rain. Yeehaw.
Cowboy hat. No, Windows is like a fucking sombrero.
Sombrero. Yeah, Windows is a
Which
sombrero.
just means hat in Spanish, but
Yeah,
like
obviously,
a
yeah.
thick sombrero.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I think that's my best analogy for it.
I think we should leave off on that.
Yeah.
I think we could say Windows has better customization over Mac.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Windows
yeah,
has
no.
almost no.
I could upgrade my
custom-
CPU
sorry,
right
other
now.
way around. Macs have
What are you
almost no
gonna do to
custom-
customize your Mac?
Get a new one.
Use the standardized
spray
parts.
paint the screen
Put
green.
put some stickers
Use the
on it.
standardized parts. Like,
Put stickers
Yeah,
on it.
stickers. That's about it.
Yep.
Yeah, people love
I
them.
put some stickers on my
You can
MacBook.
buy a mouse for it.
Oh, whoa, dude! A
You
Mac
can't do
mouse.
that on anything else.
You can buy a Mac mouse for it. Anyways, yeah, we're not huge Mac fans.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, can I complain about their mice?
Please
The
do.
one-click
No.
wonder.
Oh, those are retarded.
They don't. I don't like them. The mouse wheels are different too. They're like a little sphere.
Mhm.
Like if you've ever gone to an arcade and played like a bowling
Well, that's
game.
the old ones. The new ones don't even have a sphere.
Oh god.
I don't even know if you can scroll on them.
I think you got no. You
I don't
can't.
know,
You
man.
can't actually. I've had a acquaintance who had a Mac.
You have to use two fingers on like the touchscreen mouse. It's really awkward.
It's stupid. I hate Macs.
I don't know.
Macs are the worst.
I don't like it. It doesn't like receive right either.
Yeah, I hate the mouse out of all of it. More than like
The
I would.
mouse is probably the worst.
If I had to choose between having
Apple
a
might.
Mac mouse on my window
or just
or a Windows with a Mac or a Mac with a normal mouse, I would pick the Mac with a normal.
Notice how he says the
I would
normal
suck
mouse.
It up for a better mouse.
No, I'm saying you have to have that piece of
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
mouse. I would honestly
So
take
you're
a
saying
normal
you don't
mouse.
want two buttons?
Yeah, no.
No, I'm saying.
No, he's saying he would take the
I
Mac, but he wants the normal buttons. He wants a Windows mouse for a Mac. I would take that.
I would take a
Apple
Mac
mice.
with a normal mouse over a Windows with a Mac mouse.
So you want two buttons?
Yes.
No, we want one.
Apple
Or
needs,
3, or 4, or 5, or 6, 7, or
just at
like
least
7.
two.
Or one that glows.
Why are we all showing off our mice?
I don't know. Why
I don't
not?
know.
They're cool.
Sponsor me, Logitech.
Sponsor
Who
Logitech.
do I have? I think I have a Logitech too.
Do we all have
I think we all
Logitech?
have one.
Wait, me, Evan, do you have the same mouse? Hey, I have Razer
I have
headphones.
Razer.
I have Razer headphones.
Yeah, I have Razer headphones.
Yeah.
Ian and
No,
I-
not right now. What am I wearing right
We
now?
got right
I'm wearing Logitech headphones.
Anyway,
Lots
so
of change.
okay,
Yeah.
what was our? I like all right, hats, sombrero.
Yeah,
yes,
hot
okay.
sombrero. Yeah, Max suck. Don't buy it. Anyways, moving on. Ian.
No, they're really good for art. Just
Yeah.
not like
No,
gaming.
Okay, we gotta talk about that
Oh,
now. Now
come
we're not
on.
talking.
I don't want to talk about
No,
Max.
okay. People say.
Wait. We talk about video games, not art.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
All right, just go.
Yeah, okay. Max suck for video games. The end.
Solve it.
Okay. Ian, I want you to tell me about the pros and cons of an open world game and the pros and cons of a linear game.
Everyone stare at Ian's screen. Don't stare at him. Stare at his screen to where you are.
Wait,
And Tyler, you look to the left.
What?
You look to the left,
Look
so you're
to your
staring
left,
at Ian.
Tyler.
No, wait. What am I talking about?
Other left.
This is my left.
No, the left of your screen, so you're right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ian.
There you go.
What am I talking about?
You're talking about the pros and cons of open world versus linear games.
Well, I mean, linear games are very, very story driven
Mhm.
most of the time.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Hopefully that they are.
You would hope.
And then open world, you got so much freedom to do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of them are pretty good. Like, just I don't
Oh.
know.
Oh.
You know.
You know, man. You know. Get with the program.
Tag in.
Oh, you know, it's the good stuff for you. No. How about Evan? Are you
So we're
opposed?
saying our thoughts on
Yeah, because
open world versus linear.
depends on the genre. Yeah, for the
Yeah,
open versus.
I think it. So like, should I explain that more? Or?
No, you're good. Keep going. Go. It's just pros cons.
Yeah,
Come on, knock
we have a
yourself
Q&A
out.
at the end of the show. if
Oh
you wanna
yeah,
ask
I guess
questions.
that's a good
Oh
point.
yeah.
If you have
we gotta
questions,
do it
ask
soon.
in
I'll
the
save
chat.
that one for later. Let me copy and paste that.
Okay, go on.
I really like. So it depends on the game. And it's also a personal preference thing. If you have a lot of free time, you'll usually prefer open world, right? Because it's like I want this game to last a long time. I want to be able to do what I want, and I want to be able to just explore with this one game. If you only have so much time to sit down and play in a video game, you want to make the most of this game. You just want to get through it. I have a few games to play. I want to play it. You probably want a more linear game. I don't want to spend as much time on it. I just want to beat it and beat the next game and so forth. And I think it also depends on the genre. Some games work better open world. I think like a platformer could probably be like both. Open world platformer, something like Odyssey. That's kind of open world.
It's pretty open world.
That's pretty open
extremely
world. That's
open world.
that's well received. It's fun. You get to explore. You can climb where you want. That's fun.
It's a little linear.
Just
But,
a little bit.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Something more linear,
to a point.
like
Mario.
Well, I was gonna use a different Mario game.
Super
Mario 3.
Yeah.
Super
say,
Mario Brothers 2, baby. Let's go.
You go from beginning to end.
Yeah.
There's not much to explore. There's a few secrets. It's just different. I don't know. It works better for different games. I also think open world though, when you do it, you gotta do it right. You can't just have a bunch of empty space. I feel like nobody likes that. It feels like a waste of time. Even if it does make your world feel bigger.
Shut up, Ian.
You want things in your world because I don't want to just be running aimlessly for a while or sailing aimlessly.
Right.
I want to find stuff. I want to like do puzzles. I want to fight things in this world.
Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
That's cool. Except,
yeah, I agree with that. If it's gonna be open world, there has to be shit to do.
The only exception to that I can think of is Minecraft. Minecraft needs empty space because you want to build, but that's a specific.
That's a different kind of game.
You want,
Yeah.
even then there's still stuff.
That's an open world sandbox.
Like
game.
materials.
It's kind of weird how Minecraft works with. It's like it's an open world, but it's like
Infinite.
not at the same time.
Minecraft is a open world. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no linear to Minecraft. You do what you feel like.
Something like Fallout. I feel like Fallout had a really nice open world. There's always something to do. Like you can run around randomly, and you will find something always. And it has a little map telling you where shit is. So if somehow you manage to avoid everything, you can still find it.
Right.
But I also think that open world should have like map markers. Like, hey, this is
Oh,
where
yeah, that
this
is
is
the
where you
best
should
thing.
go.
Right.
This like you need to go here,
Mhm.
but you can go anywhere else if you want to.
I think
Yes.
Bethesda's just really good at that, making open world games. Because they made Skyrim, they made Fallout, and they made one other game, right? Can't remember.
Jeez,
Right, Bethesda
Fallout,
made.
what do they have?
Hold on, let me look.
Oh, Fallout 2
Shut up.
Fallout 3,
and 4. There you go. That's already
Fallout
5.
New
no.
Vegas.
I don't want this to make noise. Hopefully it won't. But New Vegas was good.
Oh,
No, I want to know like if Bethesda made what other games they made because they made good games.
But they make a lot of Elder Scroll games.
True.
Which is
Elder
Skyrim,
Scrolls
but-
was really good. Oh, they made Doom.
Oh, Doom.
That's the other game.
Doom.
They made Prey. I don't know what that game. Dishonored. Starfield. I don't know what that game is. I don't know. Those are all pretty good games. Like I've never heard a bad thing about Bethesda. Because they're open
Just
world.
Open world's really
But
nice.
the bad thing about
Like,
open
you
world
can-
is
you have to do it right though.
Yeah.
okay. But hold on. Let's take a game that does it right.
Okay.
Let's take a game that does it right. Let's say Skyrim does it right.
Breath of
For me
Wild.
personally,
Oh.
I played a lot of Skyrim.
Skyrim does it right for a lot of people.
Yeah, it does it
Yeah,
right.
a lot of people like
It does it right for me
Maybe,
to
like on 8 different consoles.
a
in, like,
certain
what, 5 years?
yeah, for a certain extent because it's really fun. You can do whatever you want, but at a certain point, it's just like okay, it's kind of doing the same stuff. I get a quest and you do this. I mean, it's cool. I can use whatever weapons I want. I can use whatever magic I want. That's great. But I mean, at some point, it's just going to be the same thing over and over. You unlock new skills. Great. Now I can backstab for 2% more damage. Yeehaw, partner. It doesn't.
2%.
Right? It's crazy. It just doesn't.
If I do that 300 more times, I'll have a 600% more
Right.
damage.
And then like Fallout, same thing, kind of. I played a little Fallout, not a lot. I feel like Fallout does it worse.
Fallout has really unique quests though. Like the building, you do the same thing, but like the buildings are very, very widely different. That it actually creates quite a different feel in most of the places that you do it. It's like you're still fighting the guys, but there are like quite a bit of diversity in it.
Yeah, I think that the open worldness is good because it removes the cap to how long you can play a game, but it adds on.
It does make it very fun.
Yes.
Like I played 400 hours on Fallout, where it could take me like 11 hours to beat it
Really?
if I wanted to.
That's a lot of time in a game.
I've played it so much. Like
I didn't even know that. Yikes.
But I think
actually,
linear
it can be a lot
games
quicker than that.
can definitely be good too. Some games you don't want to drag on forever.
Oh yeah. Is that open world?
This?
Yeah.
No,
I don't
it's
think
not.
it is.
It's super linear.
Yeah.
However, it's got a really good story.
What's a linear game that's really good?
Well,
I guess Last of Us.
Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby's pretty.
Kirby. Yeah, let's say Kirby. That's a great
The
idea.
original Mario games.
Yeah,
Well,
original.
I already used that. I wanna
Original
use-
everything.
Let's avoid it just because
Like-
of Odyssey.
Kirby, right?
Yeah.
All the Kirby games, they're all more or less the same.
Yeah, they're pretty linear.
Or pretty similar. They just kind of add like new powers. Sometimes it's like a gimmick,
Yeah.
like Yarn.
2-player.
Well, yeah, I guess Yarn's a little different. But anyway,
4-player.
it's a side-scrolling game. It's a platformer, and like it'd be weird if Kirby was open world. Now, part of that's because it's 2D, but even it's based around just you want to get to the end, and it's quick and it's fun.
Yeah.
But something like that wouldn't work if it's so long and like everywhere. There's nothing to collect. You're not like powering up your character. You're not collecting things. You're not surviving.
I think it'd be
There's
cool,
nothing.
but
Whereas all these open world games, you want to get new armor, weapons, food, stuff like that.
You want to
Treasure.
progress up.
Yeah, there's nothing to
Right.
collect in Kirby. It's just
you're trying to beat the game. Here's your goal. Get to it.
beat the game.
Or as
Which is
Skyrim
why
Bethesda,
linear
here's your
works in
goal.
that.
Do whatever you want to get to it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And
don't
if
even
you want,
want
you can just skip it. Do whatever.
Yeah.
Here's your goal. Here's you.
Yeah. It's linear games. I think I've played more linear games than I have sandbox open world games. And
Well,
To
open world's
be
kind
fair,
of
there
new.
are a lot more linear games though.
Yeah,
They're
like
a little bit easier to do because you don't
open
have to.
world's.
You don't have to like spend as much time developing it.
Yeah, balancing
Yeah.
an open world is quite hard.
Oh,
For
sure.
instance, in Breath of the Wild, they basically make
Took
it
me,
so
what, like
that
5 years.
the guys are either the game took a long time, but I'm sure balancing wasn't all 5 years.
Oh no, I know, but they like pushed it back 2 times. They're like, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna do it right. No,
One day, we're gonna get this game right one day.
We're gonna get this. We're gonna get Game of the Year. Push it back.
Yeah. So for instance, like first area, you have the weak guys that you can deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But if you leave that area, everybody one-shots you for the rest of the game. The only way to live one hit is to be like finished with the game.
But it's also fair. You can shield anything pretty much, and you can heal mid-battle. So it's kind of a balancing thing that you can only take like one hit.
It's hard for it though, like it just the whole fact that most people who play Zelda games, they're going to invest in hearts.
Oh
and
yeah, nothing wrong
when
with
you
that.
have 9 hearts and you're still getting one shot,
yes,
that kind of feels a little bullshit.
But
you literally have to have at least 12 hearts to like not get one shot.
But if you can take like 4 hits, then it feels like food is a lot less valuable.
Yeah.
And cool armor.
I like how we just start talking about Breath of the Wild now.
Yeah, I mean that's the main
like, sort of on top
open world.
It is the best.
It's the best open
recent,
world game.
like well-known open world game.
Yeah, it's good.
You cannot say there's.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the best recently.
Well, Odyssey's more recent.
I personally like.
Yeah, but it's kind of a weird. Odyssey's a weird one. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure between last year and now, there's been a new.
Odyssey, I feel like it is kind of linear, and then it's open.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a weird.
You have to follow this like
mix.
one path, and then as soon as you beat the game, you're like, okay,
I
can do anything.
Too, where once you beat it, it's like now you can go everywhere.
Yeah.
All right,
I gotta do my story first.
I think we gotta move on.
Wait, can I add one more thing?
Yeah, sure, one more thing.
No.
I'm excited. Like open world is kind of a newer thing. That hasn't been around as long as linear. Like linear games have just always have been.
They just exist.
You know, the last 5 or 10 years when people are like, wow, I like open world games. It's cool. And I'm excited to see where they go with it. I think if they do games very well again, you know, like Breath of the Wild, I think they did outstanding the way they did the open world. There's stuff everywhere, but the map is still big.
Right.
And I'm excited to see where they go from that. You know, just some things are just too empty for me. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. So.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
There's so much to do.
We're done talking about
Wind Waker. Yeah, you can start.
80%
and then you can go to those little pillars that have like 3 gems in it.
Disclaimer: Wind Waker is a great game, but like, it's the open world aspect.
Disclaimer to the disclaimer: I've never played Wind Waker, so I can't.
Don't do it.
Anyways,
imagine a lot of boats.
Get the new one.
Next topic. Go.
Okay, I'm gonna roll into it. Hey guys, how you feel about Civilization?
3.
6.
Any of them?
I haven't played 6.
Any of them?
Yeah, I mean, more or less, they're all kind of the same.
No.
Do you have a week of free time? If not, do not play it.
And even if you do, prepare to play 1 hour of it.
Get a group of people. It's like the best thing, but like, it's kind of sucks by yourself, and it's so long. You need people
it's
with a lot of free
boring
time.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you need a squad. Teams is fun too.
Yeah, a couple squads. That game.
Yes. If you can assemble like 10 people and something to do when it's not your turn, great.
Who here's played a lot of Civ?
I've played.
I played a decent amount.
Yeah, I got like 50 hours.
The most.
Okay, Ian, why don't you give people a rundown of what Civ is if they don't know?
Okay, so Civ, you're literally starting in like 1000 BC, and you're building your way all the way up. You're progressing your civilization, making it grow, like, and then building the population. You're getting technologies and all this stuff, all the way to like the recent and somewhat close future. And
a lot of them go pretty far in the future.
Yeah, depends on which one.
Kind of far.
Yeah.
It's like stuff you can see into the future.
Right.
Yeah, like you would know this would happen at some point.
Yeah. And you have like 5-6 different ways of winning the game. Like you can dominate everybody.
Only one of them is fun.
Yeah, killing everyone.
Dominating is the only fun one.
It's similar to sport. Like you
got a death.
It's a lot longer though. But
because it takes 10 years.
Than,
oh yeah.
Guys, I won out of nowhere. I don't know what
I
I did.
just
I
won.
Most enlightenment.
Civilization
It's
is
just
hard to win, though. It's the
Hey,
thing.
I had 2 turns till I win. Okay, I won.
Well, it
It's
takes 10 years for someone to take a turn. Is the reason I stopped playing, at least, because it's like I want to take my
Is that a
turn.
10 years joke,
Well,
or do you mean like they're
Literally.
forever?
in
Literally.
Civ 5, it's actually like it's extremely intensive on your computer, to where like taking 1 turn can be a long time. If you have like if you have a ton of workers, it takes like 10 to 30 seconds minimum for them all to update and move at the exact same time. And that's if you're doing it to where they're automatically doing it.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
after.
there are
If
also-
you have to do it yourself, it's really
There
bad.
technically is no
Oh.
unit cap either.
Yeah.
I haven't played past the
There's-
4th.
You're literally only
Dawson.
capped
More or less.
by
Your computer.
Your mental capacity to play the
Your
game.
computer's a
you're
limitation.
capped by the amount of money you can make a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you fight on like a grid too, so like when there's a million
Grid.
units, I guess like a hexagon grid.
Yeah.
When you have
It
like a
depends on the
million,
civ. Earlier
have, like-
civs were squares.
Mhm.
The newer civs have been hexagons.
and when you have like a million guys there, you're gonna lag so hard, and so the turns can take forever.
That, and if you make an army, you have to pretty much move each guy individually so that you don't
Yeah.
fuck something up.
Yeah, huh?
That would be. But you can set them to like auto move too. If you
Well, but the problem is sometimes if you're
Yeah.
like, if you want to really play in
want
strategy
to
fight,
micromanage it.
yeah, you really have to sometimes.
Yeah, so it's take that for what you will.
Another thing about the game is it's not necessarily you're not like, oh, I'm gonna have like I'm gonna build a little well. It's more focused on, hey, I have a city and I'm gonna have another city take over an area.
Well, civ is all. You can also win through like technology,
Oh, yeah.
culture.
Oh yeah, being like the most advanced civilization.
That's why I'm the best, because I'm the smartest.
Like technology, your goal is to get to like another galaxy and colonize it. Like the
Is that on the
idea.
newer one?
What?
Is that on the newer one?
5?
Okay,
on
'cause I was gonna
everyone.
say no. I thought 5 was just get to space.
Really?
not- yeah, you just. I thought
No,
all
you had to get
do was-
to. I'm pretty sure like every civ is get to like another galaxy and colonize it.
Oh, I thought it was just you had a you launched a rocket into
You
space.
pretty much you're just launching a rocket,
Oh, okay.
but like the idea of colonizing another galaxy is there.
Yeah.
And then there's also cultural where you build the most wonders.
Who
I
has
don't know
ever
how to
wondered?
explain that one very well.
How do you
but
not get
You
wrecked
build the
by the
wonder.
end?
There's like they're really each town can build buildings and stuff like that to benefit the town. And when you build a wonder, most things take. If you have a fairly decent town, it takes like 5 to 10 turns to make like a good building.
Oh,
But then a wonder takes like twice that, sometimes 3 times
Jeez.
the length.
I think it takes
Yeah.
like 20 turns at least.
My
20
gosh.
turns.
Well,
army
if you have a really good town, it can be pretty
It's like
fast.
200
But, like,
years.
on an average town, it is a long time. Like if you look
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
feet,
yeah.
it's quite a long time.
I believe it. I mean, how long do you
Yeah.
think it took to make the friggin' Statue of Liberty? It probably took a couple of years.
Well, that's more recent.
But that is a
Yeah.
wonder of the
Wait,
world.
I think you mean to use a different example. Like the
No, the
Sphinx.
statue. I'm pretty sure the Statue of Liberty is a wonder.
I
Well, yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's
if it
only a
is.
few hundred years old.
But my point is,
it
it still
only-
takes a long
it
time.
only- In real life, I
Primitive.
believe I did a research paper on it. I believe it only took like 70 years to make, which that's not that bad.
7D?
70, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's with planning and stuff, so they didn't actually start making it till
Okay.
like a situation.
I mean, I guess so.
So it only took
Yeah.
like 10 years to actually make.
I got,
the 70 years that an army can march.
To
Live
plan
and
it
mess you
and
up.
whatnot, it
I-
took around.
I gotta be honest. I'm not a huge
No,
fan
I'm
of
talking
it.
about in the
I'm not a huge fan of Civ. Like,
I like it. I struggle to.
I
get
I feel like
don't
it could be fun if it wasn't so damn long.
right?
that too. Well, you can. There's like a speed up option, but even that does not help too
It's
much.
just
It really doesn't.
it's
Civ
boring.
is fun, just the amount of micromanaging you have
Yeah.
to do it in order
You have to like micromanaging.
Yeah.
Well,
You cannot not like that.
the amount of micromanaging like that you have to do just makes the game take long, like super long time.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
So that's what would turn people away from it because you're just taking like 5-10 minute turns.
My recommendation is bring your phone, a DS, or your Switch, and just play it when it's not your turn.
Yep.
Like after like turn 20, you're gonna be taking long enough turns that you could just do something else when it's not your turn. Just stay in your chair.
Play a round of League of Legends by the 50th turn.
I don't know about that.
Exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
But yeah.
Yeah, what would you guys rate it out of 10? 10 being great.
Oh, well, give us a example of a 10.
7.
No,
just what you think. It's just
Yeah,
it's like a
10
game.
is a great game. 0's
10.
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, well, we need like a relative, like what's a 1 and what's a 10.
A 1.
Okay, ET's a 1. Odyssey's a 10.
Yeah, sure.
Odyssey's a 10. ET's a 1.
Yeah.
What's like an average game? What's a 5? What's something really average, guys? Give me something like mediocre.
There's a lot of average games.
Everything's either good or bad.
Yeah.
Mario 3D, the Wii U one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's
like
fine.
it's fine. It's
It's playable.
Great. Okay,
It's got something
I'm gonna
for
give it a
everyone.
7.
Really?
That's my thing on Civ. Lay
it out.
The game's very fun. It's unique, pretty unique, and I like the way it is done. I like grid based. I like turn based, and just yeah. If you can assemble people, it's like the greatest thing. As long as you like that kind of thing. But if like I said, if you don't have patience, it can be really tedious, and if you don't have someone else to play with, it's not fun either. So I'm gonna give it a 7. Like it's good, and it can be really good, but it's not for everyone. Definitely not for people who don't like turn-based games.
I personally would give
long.
I would give it a 6 for me personally, but if the game was faster, I would easily put it at a 8 or 9, like in between.
Really?
Yeah, like the game. I like the game. I enjoyed it a ton, but after like the 14th hour of playing, and it's like 4 in the morning, it's just so tedious to play. It's just like I can't do this. If I go to bed, I'm never gonna turn this back on.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
And if you don't have somebody to play it with, it might as well only be a multiplayer game.
What's
so boring?
What's Ian got?
Player.
I'm gonna go with about a 7.
Wow.
Like, I don't mind like the micromanage thing. Wait.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't. Wait, am I doing it wrong?
No, you're doing it right, Evan. Ian's got it.
No, we were both doing it right.
Yeah, you're good.
No,
That's perfect.
I don't mind. I don't really mind the micromanage thing. The biggest drawback of the entire game is the time. But it depends on the Civ game too, because the earlier Civ games there weren't like as much that you could do. So the games were like a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys are really generous.
I remember playing. Was it the second or the first one with you?
I think that it was the first one. It was Civilization Revolution.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And
that one didn't take that long at all.
It doesn't. Depending on the Civ game, some are like the older ones are quicker, but the micromanage, I like that, and the time thing is just not me. Too much.
I gotta be real with you guys. I give it like a 4. I give it a 3 or a 4. Honestly, it's just
okay. You are not a fan.
Turns take too long. I like turn based, but the turns they're not very consistent. It's hard to do your turns. I'm not a fan of grid based games. I don't like that kind of combat. That's silly to me. It takes too long to be able to do anything in the game, and it's just it's just not fun. I don't enjoy it. It takes too long. I would
definitely say that's a type of game very specific for certain types of people.
Like grid lovers.
Some people. It's grid.
So with my negative rating, I think that averaged to like a 6.
Oh, like we're gonna average out all.
That's like about a 6.
4, 7, 7, 6, right?
I might go to a 3. I go to a 3.
So that's 14. That's 20, 23 divided by 4 is a 5.75.
It's like a 6, what I said.
So
Anyway,
that's a rounded 6.
so
group ranking.
Civilization, we give it a rounded 6. It's alright.
Kingpastaducksnstuff.
Kingpastaducksnstuff, like stamp of approval. Boom.
I think it's very. I believe
All
it's a
those-
very specific game. You're either gonna hate it or you're gonna like it.
But-
or sorry, you're either gonna hate it or you're gonna tolerate it.
But oh well. That's, you know what's a good competitor for that game is cooking games, man. Who doesn't love a cooking
That's the
game?
worst transition I've ever heard.
Now, you want a worse transition? Hey, cooking
The
games.
most unrelated.
No, cooking.
Hey.
Let's talk about cooking games real
Now
quick.
let's talk.
Just, yeah,
about
Let's
this.
talk about it. Let's talk about it really briefly because I got a bone to pick with cooking games. I shut up.
Genre?
I can't handle cooking games. They just are dumb. They do everything that another game does, but worse.
You gotta name some. You classify
Cooking
what a
Mama.
cooking game is.
Cooking Mama.
Sorry, what?
Cooking Mama. Diner Dash. Cook Serve Delicious.
So okay. So Diner Dash-esque games are included.
They are
even
included.
like the waitress.
Yeah, that's
ones
just,
where you're not actually.
you're upgrading
cooking.
your place, but it's just
Okay.
Pretty
Just
much
making
if
sure
you
that's
own
in
a
the same
restaurant,
genre.
that's a cooking.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if you own a restaurant, it seems pointless
Okay.
to me. Like every single concept that a cooking game has. Like for Cooking Mama, you have your stylus, you go through in a circle where you chop, 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 that kind of stuff. You could easily put that into a game that has a much better concept and make it better.
Yeah, because Cooking Mama is just mini games.
Yeah, and just play
so,
Mario
you don't-
Party.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
Like
you're
that's just
bored.
better.
Like, you're just playing the mini games.
Yeah, and you're alone. There's no fun. You can play against
Well,
computers.
there's multiplayer.
Yeah, but Cooking Mama
I've played
multiplayer. What sounds better? You're gonna play multiplayer Cooking Mama or multiplayer Mario Party?
Depends how mad you want to get at your friends.
I guess so. But I don't find cooking games fun in any
Get
way.
it.
Cooking Mama or cooking games, man, they're pointless. They do what every other game does, but worse. Personally.
Your turn, Tyler. You can
Yeah, knock it out.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
So basically, I agree completely with half of those games.
I half agree.
Any game that you are cooking, like you're physically like, oh, here's a burger, putting it on a tray.
Click
I like
here to
the-
flip
the-
Hey,
your
now I'm
burger.
gonna put some lettuce
Tyler's
in
stuff.
some. But
You mad, man? You're putting the lettuce on top of the burger while it's cooking? Are you insane?
No. But like, basically,
There are the noodles.
Hey,
basically, like,
Yenso22 is now
any
following.
game-
Thanks for the follow. Continue.
Hey, thank
Shout
you.
out.
Shout out to
Wait,
Yenso22, my man.
22?
Welcome to the Duck Club. Whack, whack. Okay,
Fish
good
are
enough. Keep
sleeping
going.
now.
Sleeping with the
But yeah,
fishes.
so like any of the games where you're just like cooking and stuff like that, and like there's like a usually at the top of the screen there's like a line with a person
Yeah,
with a thought.
Yeah, your
like, I want
progress. Yeah.
this.
I want to be this good.
And then they get mad. They're like, but like any of those, I hate those. Those are awful.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
the diner ones, I don't really find those necessarily too bad.
I like those.
Like the ones that are kind of like Farmville, but basically inside a house. It's like, okay, I'm gonna buy a table so people can sit down. I'm gonna buy a I don't know, a
You mean,
stove.
like-
You don't actually cook on it.
The
but there's just a
thrilling for
stove.
the top of the
Do
cooking
you
place
mean like in
there.
between rounds, like when
Yeah,
you serve
And get more
kinda-
customers
kind
to
of
come
like
in.
that,
Customers.
stuff like
Those
that.
are fun.
Yeah, I don't mind those ones. I think those are kind of fine. But the
I
games
agree.
where you literally cook, I find those super
Yeah.
stupid.
I think Diner Dash games are good the first time you play them. The first time you play them, they are perfect. They're fine with
I can
me.
agree
You
with
can
that.
enjoy them.
Yeah.
But then you find like SpongeBob Diner Dash. It's the same exact game remodeled.
Well, yeah,
Diner Dash
it's
2.
just-
Suddenly you're
it's
in
just
New
a
York.
quick,
Same
easy,
game.
flash kind of game.
Yeah,
They
it's,
make good apps, but they don't really make good.
It's just kind of a time killer.
Yeah.
you want a good app? Play
It's
some
not meant
Plants
to be
vs.
like
Zombies.
it's not meant to compete with Mario, you know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't. There's only one game besides like Diner Dash and Cooking Mama that I enjoyed, and it was Cook Serve Delicious. That was a good game because it was very complicated.
What's the new one that's on a grid where you can play multiplayer? You're all a chef.
Overcooked.
Yes.
That game's
That-
really
that's
good.
not-
That game
That
looks
looks fun. I
pretty
actually
good.
look like I would like that. But
That
that's
That
more
game's
of the
not really
back-
a cooking game. It's like a
Yeah.
strategy and like.
That's a
working
weird
together.
puzzle strategy game that's just themed around cooking.
Right.
One problem I have with that game though, you can't play it.
You can't
Like,
play.
No, but like literally, I
Oh.
got this game for me and Ian. I'm like, this is gonna be great. This game looks so fun. And you want to know how it's multiplayer?
Local.
Yeah, it's locally
Local
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Well, then
Wow.
just get it for a console. Don't get it for PC.
I know,
Tyler.
but if it's for PC, that's something that you should be able to do on.
Oh, it's for PC?
Yeah.
Well, no,
It's
it's
on
on
PC.
PC. It's not for PC.
Okay,
or
so
is it?
there's like
There is a
Steam version of
PC
that.
version of it, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and oh yeah, that's kind of lame.
It's lame,
Yeah,
right?
like I got it thinking, wow, this is gonna be really fun to play. But
Yeah.
I didn't even get to play it.
Well, that sucks because I'd actually want to play that with you.
I
I
know.
get that. Yeah.
Once I found that out with me and Ian, I'm like, well, so much for telling Evan and Parker to get it.
Yeah,
that's
like-
This would have been a
That would've
lot.
been
Yeah,
fun.
we would have enjoyed that.
We've been doing
That
it
would
right
be
now.
a fun game to play.
I mean,
That's like if Injustice was only local multiplayer. No one would
Oh my gosh, that would
Yeah.
suck, dude.
Because then
That's
you'd
that's
never
what this
play by
is,
yourself.
basically.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
play any fighting
It's a,
game.
it's a solo player game.
You-
And the worst part about it is it's not. It's like technically you can play single player, but it's not.
Still
if you-
computers.
No, yeah, well, no. If you play single player, you have to swap between two characters.
Oh wait, it doesn't even play for you.
Yikes.
That
You have to
sucks.
swap between the two characters.
Oh, that's
it's really
gross.
hard to manage that
It's
too.
That's
extremely hard to
terrible.
manage that.
Hard mode right there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah.
That is-
I do think cooking games are pretty much like you play one, you played them all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of them are similar.
They're all the same.
they are.
There's no point. But
I feel
whatever.
that the apps are okay.
It's okay as
The
an
apps are okay because they're apps.
If
The
you have
apps
to
are
pay
kind of
for
time
it,
killers.
it's not worth it.
What's up, Ian?
They're okay. They're okay as apps, but if you're downloading like a game for your computer that's a cooking game, that's just
What's the point?
okay.
Congrats.
I mean,
That's the kind of thing that you would like download a Facebook game. Like that's fine, but if you're
Yeah.
paying any money for that, it's just like
It's a waste.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't know about
But
that.
yet we're saying,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it's viable
really.
to pay for cardboard. Maybe. But no, this cooking game's no, not allowed.
no.
Yeah.
No.
I never said it was
we're-
okay to pay for
We
cardboard.
cardboard before
We're
we
defending
go.
cardboard. We're like, nah, fuck the cooking
I
games,
just
man.
said
Not viable.
Okay, you gotta give me something that I'd want to buy with the cardboard.
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Next.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
next? Hang on.
Okay, Evan, you ready to hype up? Let's talk about Asia Slash and Pokken Tournament. Oh my.
Oh
gosh.
boy, am I excited,
Oh,
guys!
tell me
Alright,
about it.
Nintendo, you know what they announced? New DLC fighters for Pokken Tournament
Naturally,
DX.
it's DLC.
That's yeah, you have to download it.
That's kind of, it's
Uh,
in the name.
Yeah. How else would you add the characters when the game's already out?
Update it.
Do what they did for Pokemon and have to go to GameStop.
Literally just update it.
Oh well, that's still downloading the update.
Whatever,
Yeah,
keep
but
going.
you have to pay for
Anyways,
it.
dab it out. Let's see it.
They announced they're adding 2 new playable fighters, Aegislash and Blastoise, with new support fighters, Mew, Celebi, Mega Rayquaza, and Mimikyu. And they work in like pairs. That's how the game works. And Aegislash is already out. Blastoise comes out at the end of the month, and there's confirmed another character in March. And they didn't say that. I don't think they said there won't be more. So there could be more than just 3. But
For
yeah,
one
I'm
DLC,
really
it's probably
excited.
just gonna be 3.
Yeah, it looks pretty
I'm
good.
pretty excited. Yeah, I already have Aegislash. He's pretty fun. You can like switch between your sword and your shield, and it's really neat. He's a good addition. I think.
I think he should have been in there to begin with. Honestly, he's like
Yeah,
literally
he's fitting for a fighting
fighter.
game. You know.
Right.
He works
And
well with
sword.
shielding. He looks cool. And,
He also seems really balanced, like an idea.
Yeah, and I'm glad they
probably
added
hard to
him
play though.
because they, you know,
Yeah.
they didn't have enough newer Pokemon. I feel like there's one guy from 5th gen. There's now 2 from 6th, and there's one guy from 7th gen. So it feels a little imbalanced. I'm glad they added another 6th gener.
Yeah.
That was cool. To
I
do.
think Asia Slash was probably the best option. Like,
Oh yeah,
generally
not the
speaking,
best
well,
option.
well,
There's
I
so-
don't know,
hundred
man. That
choices.
probably is one of the best
like
options.
what else would
One
you?
of for sure.
if
yeah.
you had to
There's
choose.
107 options,
I
but
think
like,
Mienfoo would also be a really good option.
yeah.
So
So
I think is
I'm
a really
gonna-
good option.
what?
Chandelure.
Dude, that would be an amazing Pokemon to put in Pokemon.
That
Yeah,
is not
they
already
should
in
put it
there.
in the
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Evan?
new DLC character.
Should we talk about what character we want for the
Absolutely, I would love that.
Okay. I'm gonna go
Oh, lay it out.
first. I don't care who, but I really want either a rock or a normal type.
Magneton.
Because he's not either of those. And Magneton's already a support.
No, dude, you gotta have Magnemite.
Magnezone.
But there's no rock type Pokemon. There's no normal type Pokemon. And that's kind of weird to me. I don't think there's a rock normal type, but just one or the other would be really nice. It kind of bugs me that there's almost 25 characters now, and they didn't get 2 of the 18 types.
Right.
A lot of them have types. There's other guys I'd like too, just Pokemon I like in general. But who's a rock type I think would work really well. I think Rhyperior would be cool.
Right.
He'd be a heavier character.
Like, yeah, heavy is slower.
He could shoot
Yeah.
things. Boom,
They don't really
boom.
have many tankier guys.
Yeah,
Blastoise is coming out, though.
Garchomp and Charizard are really the only like big characters, so he'd be cool.
Sazer's pretty big.
I also think
They could literally do Snorlax.
Snorlax. I would love that.
I'll be a normal
but
type.
I
That
don't know-
would fit the
That would be
priorities.
a little too big.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be pretty hard to do it, but if they could manage
could do
to
it.
it'd be
I
kind of
think they
cool.
could do it.
If they can add Chandelure, they can
My
add
only thing
Snorlax.
is, I don't feel like they could make up enough attacks for him.
He's
Well,
like,
yeah, they could. He can shoot beams.
they
They could do it.
But
I would prefer probably a rock type.
So
So I don't care if there's not a normal type. Rock is a bigger deal.
for me,
I think a Alolan Golem would also be really cool. It's another newer Pokemon.
I think my pick would be something that fits for Evan.
Yeah.
Actually, would be Kabutops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he's
I would
rock.
love Kabutops.
I'd love
That would be
Kabutops.
pretty cool.
He's
Because
got
he-
sword hands.
Yeah, he's
ready.
basically a
He's ready.
fighter already. Finally give him a Mega Evolution or something. That'd be awesome.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's like give a bunch of extra spikes on the back, give him a second pair of claws.
Well,
or
they
something.
get like a super form if they don't already have a mech.
Well, you know what I mean. But like
Yeah.
he's got everything. He's Aqua J, go psh, or he got his claws.
Yeah.
His special could be the guillotine, where he's like, where he slices,
Oh, it's like a
like,
you know
or
what I mean?
when he takes his hands, or whatever.
Oh,
it's like,
X-Scissor? You mean?
I don't know what guillotine
Oh,
does.
it's kind of X-Scissor.
Kind of
He's-
X-Scissor.
he
Yeah,
gets
they do something with
scythe.
sword.
Yeah, like
So,
Yeah.
like do a
That'd be
lightsaber
really
thing
cool.
where he's sliced in half or whatever. He'd be pretty easy to make moves for. He's
Yeah.
humanoidish.
Um.
How about you?
Yeah.
How about you? Ian?
Would
Ian.
you just go in?
Yeah, let's do it.
I feel like I'd want just like a fast character.
You
Sonic.
wouldn't want the knight?
Weavile.
We've
Dragonite, your favorite Pokemon?
Ooh.
Oh, Dragonite would be pretty cool. Although I feel like he'd be like
Charizard.
a little weird to play because I feel
I
like
think he would be like one of those people who's like, I have all of the elemental things.
I feel like he'd just
well,
be like
Thunder,
a really
Blizzard.
Yeah.
no. I feel like
But
he'd
that'd be
like,
cool. That's not
some-
bad.
Shadow Claw, Fire
Shoot, I'm
Claw,
like
Ice
really
Claw.
balanced. Like he wouldn't be fast, but he wouldn't be slow. He wouldn't like do a ton of damage, but he wouldn't do like a little amount of damage.
Well, mhm.
like I feel like the concept of him in Pokken Tournament, that's what he would kind of be like. But like I feel like I just want like a really fast Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like I knew what kind of play style I wanted.
So
with
you want
Pokemon.
someone faster.
Yeah, because there are a lot of fast characters. You want Electrode?
I
That'd
don't
be
know,
funny.
just like. Wait, are there a lot of fast Pokemon?
Not really.
Sceptile, Weavile, Pikachu,
How many are in the game?
a few more. How many characters total?
Yeah.
There's 22 right now, including Aegislash, and then Blastoise and the last guy will make 24 plus, because I don't know if that's the cap, but probably 24.
Yeah, probably like just a fast character that obviously they can't do too much damage. But a little tanky? Not like
Chimecho, let's go.
50% is like the middle, and then like 100 is like super tanky, 0
Dust Sparks.
is like okay, I can sneeze on you and you die.
Right.
I think like a 60 would be okay.
The 60s.
Like fast, non-damaging, and then like the tankiness of like 60 on that.
I guess so.
I don't necessarily. I have a hard time saying this in particular. You'll understand this part. I have a hard time saying this in particularly, but I kind of want a low damage teleporter Pokemon. So like
someone who blinks.
yeah, somebody who's like
Routes?
somebody who's
Well,
like
Gardevoir's
very very skill based and like you can outplay them, but like they are blink. They blink to places.
Abra?
I do want to tell you, Mewtwo and Gardevoir can already teleport.
Yeah, but that's like one ability. I'm talking like their
Yeah.
whole kit.
The
is
whole
based
thing is
off
like
of.
popping up randomly.
Yeah, and they only
That'd
have
be like
like 2 or 3 like just completely normal attacks. But like the other one, the blinks do like there's different types of blinks
well, you
and
would
they do
still need, like,
damage.
counters and stuff.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Do you have a
that'd be cool.
Pokemon for that you would have?
Yeah,
around?
would it be a
I
ghost,
feel-
psychic,
I would.
bug trio?
I picture the trio. That could be. But like I picture Abra, but the problem is I really don't want it to be Abra.
Abra's like the
Yeah,
best
damn.
one because he's all about teleporting.
He's like the what you're pretty much saying.
He teleports
Yeah,
around.
Jam could work.
Yeah,
I don't know about Abra.
I think I'd be okay
Yeah.
with Abra, to be honest.
I just don't like the fact that it's Abra.
No,
Why couldn't it be Alakazam?
I like
It
Abra.
could be, but I feel like he's not. He's generally.
He's
not
more like
so
brain
good.
focused,
Yeah.
like doing
I guess that
things.
could work though if like maybe he like could stun you like.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be
I
cool.
feel like if you were to balance like Abra, he would do like a lot of damage. His abilities would be hard to hit.
I kind of viewed it as his abilities are extremely easy to hit. He has like negative health.
Well, then it couldn't be out. It couldn't be the same then.
He had like negative health and negative defense, but like he could warp around.
It's like a really squishy guy.
Yeah, but he has quite a lot of mobility.
Like they elude people.
Yeah. You just have to like outplay them. Like you could trick them into teleporting, and when you plan on attacking right where they teleported.
What about Palisand? Because he could like jump into the ground. No. What about Muck?
Heck
Because he could like jump into the ground.
Like
He'd be
flat.
like, oh, wow.
Or he can like slide on the ground and like pop up on the other end.
See,
Yeah,
like a boomerang.
I could see that, but not for like what I'm going for.
Yeah, he's going more for.
Oh, what about Executor? Oh, Alolan Executor.
Yeah, he would just disappear.
Oh, he would just
No,
be
not
like
for
this,
your
like
I mean,
this.
just
In general, yeah, get rid of your.
He's like this, and he
Best
go,
character.
boom.
Yeah, that's his special move.
That would be his ultimate
It
ability.
would be the best. I want to play
And
as
it like
Alolan
throws you in the air or
Executor.
something.
Or like an
Would
earthquake
he not
happens.
be the best character?
He would be the
Come
best
on.
character by far.
Come on, guys.
Okay.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's good news. Aegislash is in Pokemon tournament. It's a good time.
Glad to hear it.
All right. If you got questions, feel free
we
to
should say
leave them.
prices.
The price.
It's $15. It gives you Aegislash, and then it'll automatically give you the download for Blastoise when it comes out.
Oh, I didn't know it costed something.
Yeah, no, it's not free DLC.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah,
good to know. $15 for the DLC. I didn't know that. Anyways, moving on.
No, it sucks. It's terrible.
If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section below on Twitch, and we'll answer them after this next segment.
I'm copying pasting them.
Oh,
so.
my man, he's on top of it. So we're gonna play our segments. Let's go.
You know this notepad that I have. This
Oh, you're actually using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting them on.
Well, you like a physical.
Okay, boys, you ready for this? We're playing the game of Steam games. Let's go, boys.
He has papers.
The segment where I pick 2 games from Steam that are very unknown. Yeah, and I make up one game, and they gotta guess which game is the one that I made up. Currently, the score. Where's the score? Evan has won once. Tyler's won once, and Ian has won twice.
Where's my point?
You did. I said you got 1.
Oh, okay.
You had 1. Tyler's 1. Ian has 2. Okay, you boys ready?
Yep.
He's ready.
First game is called Speed. Race in this massive world role-playing game where you fall in love with a truck.
Oh God.
Asteroid Girl. Explore space.
Everything sounded normal, and then you said truck.
I mean, Asteroid Girl. Explore space in this bullet hell top-down shooter. Mad Quad. An all-red platformer game focused on difficulty.
I feel like the first one is so ridiculous. it has to be real. I think he's baiting us into thinking the first one was the fake one. It just seems so ridiculous that it has to be real.
I agree with that. And for me, I'm gonna go with number 2, and I'm sticking with it. Because the third one, that sounds like a Super Meat Boy ripoff, and I guarantee you that there are Super Meat Boy ripoffs. I very much see that as being a ripoff of it.
How about you,
Go
Ian?
with number 2, my lord.
Number 2.
Number 2.
All right.
I think I'm also gonna go with number 2 because I feel like the first and the third one had longer explanations than the second one. The second one was like a sentence.
All right. So you're all voting number 2.
I want to explain why.
All right. Let's see. Let's hear a reason.
It sounded like the most reasonable game to be a game.
Which means
so
it can't
if
be.
You're trying to if you're trying to bait us, number 2 would be the bait. That we would be like, oh, that's a game. Well, I'm gonna go with number 3.
Okay.
Sarah Parker.
Okay. The correct answer was Speed. I made that up on the spot.
No!
Asteroid Girl is a real game, and Mad Quad is a real game.
No points for us.
Yeah, no points today. Well, Mad Quad is just everything is red, and it's just like a side-scrolling jumping game. And Asteroid Girl.
So it's literally like
Weebo.
Super Meat Boy.
Well, no, Meat Boy you can go up and down. This is just left to right, and you're jumping. Yeah,
it's different.
And then Asteroid Girl is top-down bullet hell. You got an anime girl like, oh my gosh, you can do it, guys! Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
And
Well played, Parker.
Dude, I'm telling you, the simplicity.
He baited us by making it so ridiculous. We would think that it
had to be real.
Bait,
had to be
right?
real.
Or when in reality, it was a bait to make us not. Think it was that one.
Oh, good
Even
round.
It was that one. That was a good try.
That is too good.
I'm getting good at this.
He was thinking 3 steps ahead.
I'm not using the strategy of trying to pick off what one's fake by what Parker says.
He's picking
the
ones that are
see,
real.
Like, what game seems like that could actually be a thing?
I mean, all these could be a thing.
So like, I knew for sure the third one was real.
Yeah,
that one I just knew. Like, ripoffs are everywhere.
I mean, I could have made a ripoff. Okay, Ian, time for the questions. Let's roll them in.
Q&A?
So
Ian's reading them all.
This one is from a while ago.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
we're fine. Maybe, who knows?
I do not think that they are still here.
That's okay.
I mean, we're
freelancing. Yeah.
Freelance.
So, what's your review on Kingdoms of Amula?
Amula. Let's take a game.
Amula.
Is that a game? Are you guys looking it up? I'm not gonna bother if you're all.
Kingdoms of Amula is on Steam. I don't want to click a link. Oh my gosh, this game.
Could you respell it again, Ian?
Kingdoms of Amula. Amula.
It looks like a mobile game, even though it's not. It doesn't look too bad.
Oh.
But it looks like a game. It's like a ripoff of World of Warcraft in a way.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to really have an opinion on it. I don't know.
Aesthetically, it looks all right. It looks all right.
It looks fine.
It looks like it takes a lot of stuff from World of Warcraft, which is fine. I think more power to them. In fact,
I don't know anything about this game.
It looks cool though. I could play that. Actually, it kind of looks like a game I'd play, to be honest.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Are you gonna get it?
I'm thinking about it. I could get it.
Exactly.
I mean, it looks pretty good. I just wonder how it would run.
My duo partner.
No, I'll play duo. All right, what else, Ian?
All right, next.
Okay. So yes, yes, no, 22 asked, what are our favorite game genres?
Oof. Favorite genre.
Okay. Who's first?
I'm
gonna go into that one chat where Evan just posted every game.
I'm gonna say RPG because my 3 favorite games just happen to be RPGs. I don't like all RPGs. I don't hate all RPGs. Just they have the majority of my favorite games. So, because Pokemon's my favorite game. I really like Fire Emblem, and recently I've been playing Breath of the Wild, which is kind of an RPG. You're role playing as Link, and all 3. fantastic. And I don't know. I'm gonna go with that.
I would have to
Even
say
if they're not all my favorite.
exploration adventure.
Oh, like action adventure.
And not so much the action. Like the action is definitely part of it, but
Okay.
like
You'd probably like Odyssey.
yeah,
Honestly.
I like the idea of like
No,
cave
Far
explore,
Cry.
like going into caves. Like it's kind of like Skyrim, except more not necessarily simpler, but more straightforward.
It's kind of like Minecraft.
It's like
in a way.
Pikmin.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Pikmin.
Pikmin.
I know you're all about Pikmin.
I love Pikmin. How about you, Ian?
I'm gonna go with like. Oh wait. I guess I'd be saying 3 genres.
Action RPG,
All
MMO.
three and just
No, it'd be like action with story and then a little bit of exploration.
Okay.
So I guess like
okay. Name an
games
example.
like Mario Odyssey or the Batman Arkham games. Those would be some of my favorites.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
So where it's like you run around and you can
But-
explore and platform, but there's still like combat.
Like it's directed, and then you can go a little bit off path, but then like you can get back onto like the main path pretty easily. It's not like I have free will
Oh.
to do whatever I want. I have a little bit of free will that I can. Hey, what's this little thing over here? So then I go explore, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I explored it, so now I'm gonna go back on the path.
You like Prototype? No,
Pro-
don't know if you ever played
Prototype's pretty good.
I've heard of
Prototype's
You would
good.
like that.
It's kind of
That's
old now.
like what you just described. It is a little old now.
All right,
Yeah.
Tyler, what you got cooking in the onion?
I like ogres. I like
Onion thighs.
pretty much all.
What's it
I like
thighs?
most games,
Dies.
but it's hard. I would just have to go with RPG, but
My
more of
man.
He's
more
down.
of the open world RPGs.
There you go. Perfect. That's good. Yeah, you got it.
One more.
Oh,
More
wait,
of the
oh.
open world.
Stolen.
More of the open world RPGs. So like, basically the opposite of what Ian said.
Yeah.
There's no direction. It just says, "Hey, go here if you want," and then you can go wherever the hell you want.
All right.
Basically, look at the game Fallout 4, and then recreate that in any game, and just perfect game.
All right, that's fair. What else you
Like,
got?
I really just love going around and just doing shit aimlessly.
The opposite of
Hours.
Ian.
It's like open world.
Yeah, it's just open world.
Is that a genre?
I've
I
said
Open
it
world's
before.
absolutely a genre.
Might as well be a genre.
Is
yeah,
it a
at this
genre?
point.
If it is, then that.
I think it's a
Yeah.
description.
Yeah.
It's a description. So you like
An
open
open
world?
world RPG is.
Reminder: if you guys got questions, you can ask them, and we're answering them. Ian, what else you got?
We're in a Q&A section.
Mhm.
So yes, no. Also asked. I'm not sure if you like worded this correctly, but who is planning on growing a long beard? Like that's when I cut a little bit of that.
So when someone, absolute, that's Tyler. He's
One with a beard.
the only one
Can't
that's
grow-
thinking of growing a beard. I
Has one.
got 5 o'clock
I
shadow
plan
going
on,
on.
shaving tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah, like I can't grow a beard. I have like a 5 o'clock.
if I
shadow
gave
like that.
myself like some
And
time,
say,
I could.
okay, how about this? Say you guys could grow a beard, would you? If everything grew in properly and how you wanted it, would you?
I would at most get a 5 o'clock shadow, and that's about it.
I
Like that's as far as I would want it.
I would not. I would like there to be stubble, but I would like it to be darker and more full. Like up here, like get some shadow going.
I honestly don't think that would grow my beard out any longer than this. This is pretty good length.
Right.
I don't want to be like
Santa.
Gandalf.
Santa. Well, you gotta.
Gandalf.
Anyway, yeah, no. What else you got here? I mean, it's pretty clear who's got facial hair here.
The rest of us can't grow beards.
I could, but I don't want.
Maybe in the near future.
Nah.
Who knows?
For me, I can get like here, right here, and then a small amount right here, and then like right here and right here is just
I have a hole.
hair.
Everyone's got that whole.
Oh yeah, your bald spot.
Everyone does.
Yeah, I have
No,
a
I
bald
I
spot
don't
in the
see
middle.
you guys
Mine's
have
so
bald
long that
spots
you
like
can't
right
see it.
here. I just can't get anything below right here.
I can get a little hair right there.
Ian has like the opposite beard issues that I do. Like this stuff just didn't grow in for the longest time, and now it's just kind of growing in.
All right, Ian. What else you got going on
Okay,
in the
so
pantaloons?
yes, no. Also
Oh,
ask,
that's not a roll.
what do you think of Jingle? Like it's a game called Jingle, and it's on
Oh, it's free to
Steam.
play.
Jingle.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Jingle
But-
Steam.
Ooh, it's not appropriate for all ages. I'm alright.
Perfect.
Oh,
I'll look this
oh,
up.
it's not released until later this year.
Oh.
Jingles.
Santa's Workshop. One goal in
Wait,
mind.
wait, wait.
Destruction.
Can one of us just
Explore-
read it out loud?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, read.
Experience the wonders of Santa's Workshop with one goal in mind: destruction.
Oh my
Explore
gosh.
the workshop and find a way to stop Christmas once and for all, or just spend your time blowing up some elves. So, this game, it basically kind of looks like a.
Oh my god.
You have a dummy
No volume. No
And
volume.
it's,
Perfect. Oh,
it's
this
kind of a mixture
game.
of some games that I've heard of. Its visuals kind of look like Team Fortress 2
A little bit.
in terms of like the
Insult.
characters. But the way that it's played, it kind of looks like a. What was that one game, like the God game, where you were God and you killed the little
Pocket God?
minions?
Pocket
yeah,
God.
Pocket God.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it has that concept. I'm gonna be honest. This kind of looks like a pretty good game, like
Looks
a game that'd be nice and
hilarious.
fun.
It
to
looks
play.
like it'd be good for a little bit.
Especially
Yeah,
considering
good
that it's,
world.
Yeah, if it's free,
to
nah,
play-
go ahead.
Yeah, good time
If
killer.
it's free to play, that looks like a game that could be quite fun.
Yeah, absolutely, I would play that.
I'm gonna add that to my wish list.
Go ahead, Ian.
Thank
What
you
else you
for-
got? Yeah, Jingle.
Okay.
Thanks.
Jingle on
Justin.
Steam for free,
So-
coming out someday.
So
Yeah.
Sponsored.
right now, this is my last question, but I think we're still taking questions.
Yeah, we're absolutely taking
Yep.
questions. If you got questions,
Yeah,
you
we'll
can
take
ask.
questions if you
Okay.
still have any.
So, Time to Make Fun says, is it true that they're making Mario Kart for Android?
Are they?
And I have heard of that, and I think it is true.
I've heard rumors.
Oh,
Yeah.
I-
Wait, really?
I don't know how I feel
I would
about
wait
that
till
one.
E3. What?
What?
Did you say
Sorry.
for like E3? Or...
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Parker said something.
No, I'll say it is.
Oh,
Really?
I want to know what they do with that.
That would be
They do it
interesting.
well,
I-
'cause there's
I
a
feel like
Game Boy and a DS one. Those were good. So why not on a phone?
Well, Android doesn't have buttons.
Yeah, they'll probably say
So
something at
It would
E3
have to be like
if it's anytime in the near
motion
future.
controls.
Yeah, like turn your screen. I would enjoy that. I think these guys would too, right? We all like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want it on my phone.
I'd have to see, but I would be excited
mean-
for that.
CNET
That is true.
CNET says Nintendo announces Mario Kart Tour on Wednesday in a game of iOS and Android devices.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
it's
is true. It's confirmed.
Um,
I'll have to learn
wow.
more about that.
if it costs money, I'm not gonna get it.
I'd
I
pay
would much
$1
rather
though.
play it on
Most
Well, yeah, I
Nintendo
have my
games-
Switch, but like,
Most Nintendo games that have come out for
Android. or-
phones have been
yeah.
free.
Well,
Not all of them.
that's a questionable thing because yeah, you had Mario Run or whatever, but you played like 2 levels and then you had to pay like $14 to play the rest.
Yeah, they're kind of pay to play. It's just they give you like a trial.
Yeah,
almost.
it's like a trial basically.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
so.
all the ones they've released so far, they're fine for what they are. What do they got? Pokemon Go, Fire Emblem Heroes, Mario Run, and there's an Animal Crossing one, Pocket,
Pocket Village or something dumb.
yeah, something
That's
like that.
alright. Anything else?
All 4 of those are fine. So I don't
yes.
see why Mario
Oh.
Kart wouldn't work.
Oh.
Just
Yes,
no,
no,
they're not full
asked,
games.
will
they're
we ever do a
apps.
playthrough? And then very, very professional, John, says we should do like a team game.
Like gaming streams?
Yeah, like gaming stream.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that'd be kind
yeah,
I don't think that's
I
off
would-
the table, but
I would
we
be
might
down.
make a new.
I'd
I
don't
would
know.
totally
be fine with it. I wouldn't care.
We'd
People
have
are
to
all
find
down
we'd have to
for it.
find times to do it.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah,
nifty.
well, that would have to be a
We're
regular
pretty
thing.
limited.
With our
We're all
ever-changing
very limited on
schedules.
time.
Yeah.
Wanna know what would be a really cool thing to play?
Huh.
Overcooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Wow.
We'll have to meet up at a house.
If
Let's
it
play
was
s-
possible.
Let's just play
Well,
stick
we all
fight. That's a
met
fun
at
game.
Parker's
Te-
house.
Yeah, but you know how
Technically,
hard that would
We
be
live
to
within
like
5
record
minutes of
us.
each other.
I own the game. I do
I
have
do
like
too.
2 controllers.
I'll bring controllers. Yeah.
Why
I have
no?
a
We could play it at my house because I have an Xbox controller, a PS4 controller, and then
I can bring a
use
controller.
both halves of the keyboard.
Well, I would bring a controller too. Do you have enough USB ports for 4?
I mean, there's always more in the back.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I've got an extender. I can always make more.
Yeah. So well, I definitely. So is that a group like?
Yeah,
Yes, it's considered,
I
but
mean,
confirmed?
we can. If,
We don't necessarily know when it'll happen, if it'll
If-
happen, but we're totally down.
We're all
for that.
if
down.
enough people
That would
want it,
be-
Plans,
if
yeah.
enough people want it,
We're
sure.
keeping it podcast
we
for
could-
now.
We could do like,
That could maybe that could not be a stream, but like we could put it on our YouTube.
Yeah.
We do have.
Like we
YouTube
have our
channel.
podcast that we stream, but we like do a really long recording just one day of
Let's
us
play.
playing the game.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
you know how like none of us. Okay, we'd all do stuff on Wednesdays. However, like we might be able to like put it on Wednesdays.
I don't do anything Wednesday.
I think
Well, yeah.
Evan's the main issue for Wednesdays.
Yeah. I don't think we should start talking about our.
Well, let's
schedules.
talk about schedules another time.
Podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else, Ian?
It's
Never
gonna
mind.
get kind of personal.
I got my doctor's appointment to get my ointment on Wednesday. My ointment.
On a me? I have ass cancer.
My-
Sorry, we shouldn't.
No, it's fine. Good. What do you got? Anything
Yeah,
else?
it's not a
Okay,
joke.
yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
That's not true.
Yes, no. Also asked. I don't know who made Pokemon, but I'm wondering how can I make Pokemon go to the.
Is that a move? Hey, good meme. That's
Good
my
meme.
response to that
Good
question.
meme. Yeah, no, Pokemon go to the polls any day.
Well
man.
played.
Uh,
Good try.
You obviously
He-
open up Pokemon Go.
and you go to the
and you
polls.
Go to the poll.
booth.
Yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's
You call
Like you find a
Niantic.
nearby pole, a light pole.
a stripper
Find
pole,
Find the nearest Magneton.
Yeah.
light
you call
pole,
Niantic, and you're just like, hey, give me stuff.
dog pole,
Pokemon.
That or you become a politician
corn pole,
and pretend that you know what you're talking about.
and then you say, "Hey, let's go Pokemon go to the polls, guys." Oh my
Yeah,
Hey,
gosh.
let's go sponsor Go to the polls.
Hashtag go to the polls. Let's go.
Okay.
Anything else? Yeah.
Okay. That's political enough.
John did ask, is it true that somebody touched on my spaghetti?
Somebody touched
Touch
on
my
my spaghetti.
spaghetti.
That meme is so
My
dumb.
spaghetti.
I hate that meme.
I love how you just call him John. We just know it's John. You don't give him a title.
I mean, I know it's John. I feel like it's easier.
What's his username?
Yeah, what's his username on Twitch?
Very professional.
Oh yeah. Okay, that meme is. How do you feel about that meme, guys?
Yes, no has some advice.
Oh, what's the
Yes, no,
advice?
let's hear it.
He hasn't said it yet.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh.
If you're gonna
Everyone
say
pause
something
and
about these
stare-
black
pause and
lines,
stare at your camera.
if it's anything about these black lines, we're fixing it. Don't worry.
Pause and stare at your
Yeah,
camera.
ne-
We are
ne-
fixing
next week we just didn't have enough time to fix
I
it.
was given about a half hour to get this
Wait,
crap
black
working.
lines.
Yeah, if you look at the very
Yeah,
like side, there's a black line.
it. Stare at your camera, Tyler. Let's stare.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, but it's so
Staring down
minuscule.
the face of my enemies.
But how are we gonna see the question if we're staring at the camera?
Well, someone will look.
Well, okay.
My
I don't
phone
know.
only has 1% left, so the rest
Oh,
is gonna
my
be on you
eyes.
guys.
okay, so want to hear the advice?
Oh boy, is it a meme?
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's a meme.
Yeah, never trust a woman sounding person on VR chat because it's a trap.
Right, you are.
Oh, wow,
Alright,
you could
well-
not be more right.
Do we have more questions?
Any more questions, please
Is that
ask
it?
them. It's
Okay, we can keep going.
yeah, I'm fine
These
with
are
it.
entertaining questions.
These
I
are
like
great
them.
questions.
I like
man.
these memes.
These are the questions. It's getting hot in here from all these questions. Just take this off.
Oh,
Whew.
take off all your clothes.
It's actually getting real hot in here, man. These memes are too
100
good.
followers and we strip.
No, 100 followers. I play
No.
Battle Tetris. Reminder: tell your
Oh,
friends
yeah.
about this. If you get 100 followers, I'm playing Battle Tetris, and you can watch me rage.
Or just tell your friends to come watch us. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
tell
sure
them to
some people would
tell
like
them to come watch us and spam us in the chat about random
Okay.
crap. Ugh,
One question.
let's hear it.
Reform.
It's for Parker.
Oh boy.
Parker, you do not know the way I will spit on you. From one spicy mean boy.
Spit me. I dare you. I dare you. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, I have been voted out.
Whoop-oo.
I know. Nice. Yeah, I do know the way. How do you fit? Are those memes any good? Like,
Sure, they're funny.
I
Any
thought
meme.
they're pretty funny for a
Yeah.
while.
Um,
They're dying though. They're
Yeah.
gonna be gone.
Yeah,
pretty
it's just how memes work.
I feel like it's okay to make no delay meme at least like one time a day, and then that's about it.
I can do it a couple times a day.
And,
if I'm
and
But
then,
doing
that's
it.
and then
any-
after that, it's too much.
That's any joke. You can only.
You know what
do so
joke
much of
died
it
way
before
too
it's
soon as
not
Dat
funny.
Boy. I'm real upset about that. I should have lived so much longer.
Oh my god.
We'll take one or two more
Okay,
questions if we have any.
Oh, never mind.
Huh?
I'm not gonna say that.
What? What?
John's inappropriate.
Yes, no asked who would watch Two Girls, One Cup, and I have seen that.
I've already seen it.
I've seen that.
I'm gonna
Never
Parker
proudly
and I
say
watched it
that I have
together.
avoided it.
Yeah, I'm with Tyler. So we're 2-2 here.
Nah, dude, I would watch it again. That doesn't
I would-
bother me.
I'm aware of what it is.
It doesn't bother me.
Clap for the queen.
Not that I'm into it. No, not at all. I'm
I'm not
yeah.
into it. I'm just.
It just doesn't.
That's
it doesn't-
a serious turn off.
It doesn't
Yeah,
bother
I'm
me.
enough of a like that's gonna gross me out that I've just avoided.
I
it.
have been on 4chan so much that I have an iron stomach for just about everything.
He's desensitized.
Yeah, I'm desensitized pretty hardcore. That just doesn't affect me as much as the first time I watched it, it bugged me, but not anymore. What? do you-
John says at 100 followers, he'll send nude pics.
I mean,
Do we want those?
No.
I retract my
No.
statement.
I
Nobody
don't
follow.
follow.
Nobody
Do not
follow.
follow
Please
us.
don't
They
follow us.
Only follow us if I don't know.
Yeah.
if
You're that
I'll
desperate.
type
If you no, you know
Yo,
what?
guys, how about we just block John?
Just remove John from the friend group altogether. Hell yeah! No more memes. I don't
Just
know.
an FYI, there's a chance that John might show up as a guest star.
Oh, absolutely. There's a chance.
Star.
See, he's the
Well,
rising
that's what it
star.
would
For those
be.
of
We're
you-
like the main 4 people.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Jonathan is our friend, and he
Friend. Hold on. Roll it back. Friend is a strong term.
We're just he's our.
We
our
talk
friend.
to him.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
he's
who
one
we're
of our
talking
friends.
about. He's not
Yeah,
just
no.
a random person.
You guys want to hear a story?
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
We'll just continue.
No,
to
no,
make
let's
fun
hear- let's
of
hear
him
the
because
story.
He's not part of our
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes, no. Two said, well, he was telling a story. He said some girl walked up to him. She asked him out, and he said, "Sorry, I'm not into men."
Is that the end of that story, or was there
Yes.
a follow
It's
up?
a
Yes,
beautiful
no.
story.
Okay, just a side note. If we don't get to your question, we have a YouTube. You can ask us there, or you can ask us on Twitter. We'll answer it.
Parker, you check YouTube daily, right?
I check it as much as I can. Yeah,
Okay.
I can check it real quick.
I upload videos.
Yeah, you
but I
guys do.
think you check it.
Anyways, if we don't get any more questions, we'll roll it. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I think
Around
at
here.
this point we're just getting memes.
Are we just getting memes?
Well, these aren't questions.
Here's what I'll do. If we get 2 more
Hit us with
memes,
our outro.
nah, we hold 2 more memes. 2 more memes. I want some memes.
Okay, 2 more memes.
2 more memes. I'm in.
Okay, meme number 1. This one's from John. It's okay, guys. I cut because of our friendship.
That's meme 1. Oh,
Meme 1.
that's
These
meme
aren't
1. Let's
huge
hear.
ones.
That's your 1 meme, John. If you want to shout out, you follow, and your picture will appear
What?
here, and we'll say, "Hey, thanks for following Quack Quack" or something like that. I don't know. We need a slogan.
Is that a thing yet,
If you
or
get-
are we working
Well,
on it?
here's the thing.
I
If
think
you
that's in progress.
if you have an idea for what our following should be called, leave it in the comments on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
what-
want to be,
Yeah,
if you want to be branded.
yeah, we got a brand. We need ideas for branding. I just want to let you guys know. I think we're gonna wrap
We
it
will
up.
claim you. What
Hit
do you
you with
want us
those
to claim
titles.
you
We
as?
have been live for 2 hours. I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Just call them the squad.
This is last meme because
Okay.
we only got one.
Yeah, that's
meme.
right. Last meme. Let's hear it.
I want to just call them the
Okay.
squad.
Yes, no said if she's old enough to pee, she's old enough for me.
Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done. That was the outro. Outro us.
Thank you, everyone,
Uh,
so much for watching. We will.